Imagine this. Two people start at exactly the same point. Same age, same income, same city. Fast forward 5 years. One of them is still living paycheck to paycheck, constantly stressed about money. The other, they quietly crossed $100,000 in savings and investments. No lottery.no viral business. No rich parents.so what changed? Was it luck? Or did one of them follow a blueprint that most people never even realize exists? Because the truth is, going from $0 to $100,000 is not about how much you earn. It's about how you think, behave, and structure your money. And once you understand this blueprint, you'll never look at money the same way again. Most people believe building wealth starts with one thing. Once I earn more money, then I'll start saving. Sounds logical, right? But here's the problem. That moment never comes. Because as income increases, so does lifestyle. You get a raise, you upgrade your phone. You earn more, you move to a better apartment. You make extra money, you reward yourself. This is called lifestyle inflation. And it's the silent reason why people earning $500 and people earning $5,000 can both feel broke. The real issue isn't income. It's the lack of a system. Without a system, money flows in and disappears just as fast. So the question isn't, how do I make more money? The real question is, how do I stop money from slipping through my fingers and make it stay? Because the journey from $0 to $100,000 isn't one big jump. It's a series of small, consistent decisions that most people ignore. Let's break down the $0 to $100,000 blueprint into simple steps. Not complicated strategies, not risky investments. Just clear, practical moves. Step 1. Control before growth. Imagine trying to fill a bucket with water, but the bucket has holes in it. No matter how much water you pour, it never fills. That's exactly how most people treat money. They focus on earning more, but ignore where it's leaking. Before you think about investing or growing wealth, you need to control your cash flow. This means one simple habit: knowing where your money goes. Not guessing, not estimating, actually knowing, because awareness changes behavior. When you see you're spending $200 a month on things you barely remember, something clicks. You don't need to cut everything. You just need to align spending with what actually matters to you. That's how you plug the holes. Now here's where most people make a mistake. They jump straight into investing. Stocks, crypto, side hustles. But without a safety net, every unexpected expense becomes a crisis. Car repair, stress. Medical bill, panic. Job loss, disaster. That's why step 2 is simple. Build a small emergency fund. Even $500 to $1,000 changes everything. It doesn't make you rich, but it gives you psychological stability. And that stability is powerful, because when you're not constantly reacting to emergencies, you can finally start thinking long-term. Here's something interesting. The hardest money you'll ever save is your first $10,000. Not because it's a big number, but because it requires a complete shift in identity. You go from, I spend what I earn, to, I keep a part of what I earn. This is where discipline is built. Small amounts, consistent habits. Saving $5, then $20, then $100. It feels slow, almost pointless, but something is happening behind the scenes. You're training your brain. You're proving to yourself, I am someone who builds money. And that belief is more valuable than the money itself. Now imagine this. Every time you get paid, a portion of your money disappears. Not because you spent it, but because it was moved before you could touch it. This is automation. And it's one of the most powerful tools in wealth building, because it removes decision-making. No willpower needed. No overthinking. No I'll save next month. It just happens. And here's the psychological trick. What you don't see, you don't spend. So instead of trying to control yourself every day, you design a system that controls your behavior for you. That's how ordinary people build extraordinary results. Once you have control, stability, and consistency, now you're ready for growth. But here's where people get confused. They think investing has to be complicated. Charts, strategies, timing the market. But the truth is, the most effective investing is often the simplest. Think of investing like planting a tree. You don't dig it up every week to check if it's growing. You plant it, water it, and give it time. Consistent investing in simple assets over long periods. That's where the magic happens. Because of one powerful force, compounding, money earning money. And then that money earning more money. At first, it looks slow, almost invisible. But over time, It accelerates. Here's the part most people don't realize. The journey to $100,000 is the hardest phase. But after that, everything changes. Because now your money starts working for you. Let's say you've built $100,000. Even modest growth can generate meaningful returns. And suddenly, you're not just relying on your income. You're building a system where money creates more money. That's when wealth building shifts from effort to momentum. Now here's the deeper truth about money. Wealth is not built through big actions. It's built through small behaviors repeated consistently. But here's the catch. Humans are not naturally wired for this. We prefer immediate rewards over long-term gains, comfort over discipline, spending over saving. This is called present bias. We value today more than tomorrow. That's why it's so easy to say, I'll start next month. But the people who build wealth, they don't rely on motivation. They rely on systems. They make good decisions automatic. They remove temptation. They simplify everything. Because they understand something most people don't. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. So if you want to go from $0 to $100,000, don't overcomplicate it. Focus on these 5 things. First, know where your money goes. Second, build a small safety net. Third, start saving consistently, even if it feels small. Fourth, automate your finances so you don't rely on discipline. Fifth, invest simply and stay consistent. That's IT.no shortcuts. No hacks.no overnight success. Just a clear blueprint, followed consistently. And remember, it's not about being perfect, it's about being consistent. Even small progress, repeated over time, creates massive results. At the end of the day, the difference between someone stuck at $0 and someone who reaches $100,000 is not intelligence. It's not luck, it's not even income. It's the invisible system they follow every single day. Because wealth isn't something you chase. It's something you build. Slowly, quietly, intentionally. And one day, you look back and realize that small decisions have completely changed your life. So the real question is, are you going to wait for the perfect moment to start? Or are you going to begin building your first $1 today?